Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. So, before I delve into the whole tariffs issue, which has been huge, and I've had people asking me questions, don't necessarily say I have the proper answers, but earlier tonight we opened up a Discord server just for the members of this YouTube channel that are supporting it so they can give feedback, ideas, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. They get much quicker access than maybe just leaving comments on a YouTube video. So if you are a member, go check out the post for the channel. There is an invite sitting there for you to join the Tavern's YouTube Discord. So just throwing that out there. So this article from Morris is about the tariffs and whether or not they apply to RPG books. And it's confusing. Not that the article is confusing. The article is actually very, very well done. Morris does a great job. But the whole situation is confusion. When the tariffs were announced by the US, panic was the first reaction from tabletop role playing game publishers. Trust me, I heard it. I was getting PMs, I was getting emails, I was getting text messages. It wasn't good. This was soon followed by a wave of hope as people shared an official exemption list, which includes printed books, brochures, leaflets, and other similar printed matter in single sheets, whether or not folded, and printed books, brochures, leaflets, or similar printed matter other than in single sheets. So these are the codes that are below. And you would think that RPG books would fit into that. However, ICV2 is reporting it may not be the case. So there was a ruling back in '89 that, in the opinion of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, that the code provide a different code provides a more specific description of the merchandise and issue. The modules enhance fantasy gameplay. They were not designed for passive reading. Now, I'm going to just throw this out there. Uh, Most of my gaming material is intended for passive reading. I don't run 90, I don't know, 96, 97, 98% of what I have. Look at that virtual shelf behind me. It's full of stuff I will probably never run, but I own it and I'm inspired by it. Then there was another ruling in '91, again from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, that says, and it's as a result of the foregoing, the instant merchandise is classified under subheading yada yada as articles for, believe it or not, arcade, table or parlor games, including pinball machines, bagatelle, billiards, and special tables for casino games. Automatic bowling alley equipment, parts, and accessories thereof. The applicable rate of duty was not the one for books at that time. So, those rulings are 35 years old. There's no guarantee that the same ruling would be made today. This ruling from last year classifies a Shadowrun supplement as a book, noting that this ruling only takes into consideration the books when imported separately. I guess that would be what, separately from a box? But it does cast doubt on the status of TTRPG books. Are they books or are they games? According to the U.S. Customs Agency, if they are games, they are subject to 145% tariff. If they are not games, it's I've heard 7% quoted. This article says 10%. The prices, the costs vary, the numbers vary, but if they are games, they certainly are going to be much more expensive. Products coming from other countries other than China are currently subject to a lower 10% tariff. Okay, but we don't know where this. We know for like 90 days these lower tariffs are in effect. We don't know what's going to go on beyond that. And without knowing for sure whether TTRPG rulebooks incur the tariff, you may have to wait until they start hitting port. Remember, tariffs are decided when stuff is in port. So if the rules change when it's being transited, tough shit. It's when it lands, so what your tariff is going to be based upon whatever the current is. Now, I am going to quote Daniel D. Fox here. Daniel D. Fox, creator of Spyhander. So, when I was with Andrews McMeel Universal from 2019 to 2023, our supply chain manager classified all of our role playing game books by the same HS codes as other books. However, the Zweihander starter kit, which includes chits, cards, dice, a box, and the like, was treated the same with the same harmonized code as a board game, which was subject to a different tariff scheme. My current suppliers for Zweihander Reforged Edition tell me that the books are subject to the original tariff of 10%, treated the same as the HS code for books. However, everything else being I am producing, dice, cards, and the like, is subject to the reciprocal tariffs. Now, I give credit where credit is due. My plan, Daniel's plan, is to absorb the tariff cost myself and not pass it on to backers. However, this puts me in a bind for the future as I have no choice but to raise prices as these products hit retail shelves. This isn't, there are certain things that are zero sum. Zero sum. Like you can subscribe to this channel and Joe the Lawyer's channel and Tim Shorts' channel and Got to Matter, Vance's channel. You can subscribe to all these channels. It doesn't take anything out of your supply. Maybe you can't watch them all at the same. Obviously, you can't watch them at the same time. Your free time is limited, but you can subscribe to all these channels. But when it comes to the money, this stuff that you can actually spend on gaming material or other non necessities, because you'll be spending more potentially on necessities, um, something's got to give. And I appreciate uh, Daniel Fox thinking of his backers and not passing on that cost. But he is going to pass that cost on at retail. Sucks to be somebody who's going to be buying it at retail, but I can understand why. Nobody's in this business to take a loss, right? And I know the biggest joke in the industry is how do you make $1 million in the RPG industry? Ah, yes, you start with 2 million because you're going to lose 1 million. It's a joke, but in these times with the tariffs that we are not quite sure which way they are going, it's an important question to ask. So, folks, let me know how you feel. Do you have Kickstarters that you backed that are outstanding, that are in this situation of what's going to happen with these tariffs? What's going to happen with the projects you backed? I know that Trollor Games put out a huge email earlier today, which I should probably go over in another video, talking about how the tariffs aren't really going to affect Trollor Games because they've been sourcing from the United States already. And they've basically been buying American and doing some of their own printing, their own publishing. So they're kind of protected from it just a little bit. So let me know what you think. Drop your feedback. And if you want to join us on Discord, Become a member. Like I said, folks, if you are a member, the link is under the YouTube posts, but it's the members only. All right, folks. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice. Roll them well. I'll catch you all tomorrow or later today, depending on when you see this. Be good.